Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes,
This is my beautiful girlfriend Kat.
and today you join us from the cockpit of Winston, Kat's plastic Ford Fiesta. Today we're heading out to make a video on not one but two super cool classic Fords that belong to a subscriber called Jack and his dad Rick. Now these cars were both shared quite recently on my social media and I can't wait to see them in real life. Jack was one of the first people to get in touch with me when I mentioned that I would like to get out and get some of your cars on the channel. But if any more of you out there would like to get your cars on my channel, definitely get in touch. And as always, I'll leave links to my social media and my email address in the description of this video. Now we've got about an hour drive to get to Jack's place, so we'll catch up with you when we get there. All right, so we've made it to Jack's place and I'm joined by Jack. Thanks for inviting us down and letting us have a look at these two cars. Now we're here to see Jack's Mk1 Fiesta and also this Mk2 Cortina 1600E that Jack actually owns with his dad Rick. Rick is far too cool to be appearing on my silly little YouTube channel. Quite a contrast between the two cars in terms of luxury. The Mk1 Fiesta would have been, you know, a very affordable car back in the day, and you know, the 1600E Cortina would have been at the top end in terms of luxury. Obviously there was the Cortina Lotus, which would have been higher up in terms of performance, but yeah, this would have been a really luxury car back in the day. We'll start having a closer look around the Fiesta. Whenever I see really nice ones like this, it does make me miss my one that little bit more. This one is finished in Bermuda blue and it's still wearing a lot of its original paint. Jack has dealt with a little bit of rust on the scuttle area. It was actually that side, but yeah, you know, this is not a restored car. It's just a really genuine, honest, low mileage example. I love how the bonnet sort of comes round at the front here and then you've got the little grille below it. Obviously the square headlights with the indicators below. Later on the XR2s had round headlights and the indicators were moved to the bumpers. Speaking of the bumpers, with this being an L model, it's got the chrome bumpers with the black trim, and the chrome theme is continued around the car with the one wing mirror on the driver's side, and the door handles and the boot lock are also chrome. Now these bumpers are what's known as small bumpers because this is a really early Mk1 Fiesta and they were updated later on to meet the crash safety regulations that came in the early 80s. Such a cool car, so nice to see one that hasn't been extensively modified. In fact, this car only has one modification, which we'll come to in a little while. The car is still wearing its 12-inch steel wheels that Jack has refurbed and treated to a new set of tyres. He's also replaced all the shock absorbers on the car and it's obviously running at stock ride height. If we come around the back, simple boxy design, really minimalistic rear light clusters with a separate reverse light at the bottom there. And yeah, really nice chrome badging. Oh, there is one more modification. He's got a Marcus Hayes sticker in the rear windscreen. Yeah, if we look in the boot, one thing that I think is really cool about these is it has this false floor which you can lift up to access the spare wheel and the jack and wheel brace. Yeah, really, really cool. If we have a look inside, the simple minimalistic theme continues. I love the pattern on these seats. Everything's in pretty good nick. Really thin rimmed plastic steering wheel. Not much in terms of instruments in the dashboard. Just a speedo, no rev counter, and you've got the fuel gauge and the water temperature gauge. I remember my Mk1 Fiesta, because it was an L economy model, it had red and yellow lights in the dash, which let you know when you was wasting fuel. Yeah, this is quite a cool feature, a little flap that lifts up on the dashboard to let hot air out of the heater. And yeah, if we go down to the switch panel, this car doesn't have a radio fitted actually. Very few switches on the passenger side. We've got not one, but two little parcel shelves. Such a cool little car. And as I say, it's good to see one that hasn't been modified too much. I suppose next we should have a look at the heart of the beast. And the bonnet release on these is around the passenger side and the kick panel. The bonnet sort of opens backwards on these, which I think is really cool. And here we can see the 950cc Valencia Crossflow engine. It's a pushrod engine with the cam in the block, and the pushrods operate the valve train. This one is still running, I think it's a VV carb, which is underneath the original airbox. But yeah, again, so nice to see one so standard. Now, as I mentioned, this car does have one modification, and that is that the cylinder head has been converted to run unleaded, which is obviously a really sensible modification to do on even a standard car like this. Can we hear it run, Jack?
Yeah, sure.
That runs really well. It does run really well. Yeah, so this engine has only done 40,000 miles, which is probably why it's running so well. But Jack's dad, Rick, is a bit of an expert with these old engines, so he's been maintaining things as well. Runs really, really well. Still running the points for the ignition. Most of these have been upgraded to electronic ignition, but nah, it's pucker, man. Such a cool car. Right, so moving on to the Mk2 Cortina 1600E that Jack owns with his dad. I don't know loads about these cars. In fact, I don't claim to be an expert in any car, but I was doing a bit of reading last night on the internet, and from what I can make of it, these 1600Es had the same sort of suspension as the Lotus cars did. Now, this car is a relatively recent purchase, and it was actually sitting for about 30 years before Jack and Rick picked it up, and literally within a couple of hours of them getting it home, they got the engine running, which is really cool. Hopefully we'll be able to hear it run in a little while. Now, as I say, it is a 1600E, and some of the features of a 1600E are these front fog lights. I think this blacked grille is also a 1600E feature, and it's good to see that it still has its Rostyle alloys fitted. Now, originally this car would have been silver, a shade called Silver Fox, and the plan is actually to restore this car to factory concourse condition, including a respray in the original colour. Now, Jack was telling me that this car was actually painted in Rolls-Royce black. Now, these were more of a boxy design compared to the Mk1 Cortinas, which I also really like. This car has also got a Marcus Hayes sticker in the rear windscreen. Loving that. And love the fuel filler cap on the rear panel. I think that's really cool. But yeah, just such a cool car. But yeah, it's definitely all there. Definitely worth restoring. But I will say it will look a million times better once it's painted silver. And I'm sure Jack will keep us posted with progress when they do start restoring it. Let's have a look at the interior, where most of the sort of features of the 1600E are in terms of luxury. It has these wooden door cap-ins and wood on the dash. That dash is so cool. Has a leather-clad aluminium steering wheel. I'll just jump in. These seats are pretty comfortable. Yeah, this interior is amazing. In really, really good condition, considering this is a 1968 car. Such a nice place to be. And yeah, as I say, just at the height of luxury. Wow. We will have a look in the engine bay. There you go. The 1600E Cortinas were powered by a 1600 Kent Crossflow, the GT version. And yeah, it's all there. Still got the original airbox. I think these have a twin choke Weber carb. And these would have made around 85 horsepower, I guess, new. But yeah, Jack was saying that it does run. One thing to note, it's got the strut top reinforcement plates like the Lotus Cortinas would have had. And one thing that I think is really cool is it has a hydraulic clutch. This is the original silver fox colour, which the outside will be getting painted eventually. This radiator isn't actually the original one, but Jack and Rick have got an original radiator to go on. I've just noticed that it's running a dynamo rather than an alternator. You can see it comes with a 4-branch manifold. But yeah, just a really honest, complete car. So Jack's going to start it up so we can have a listen. He's warned me that it's quite loud because there's no exhaust system on it. It is pretty loud. Yeah, it runs sweet though. So now Jack is very kindly going to take us for a little spin in the Mk1 Fiesta. Drives really, really smooth.
Yeah, it does drive through one of these, does drive.
Yeah. Obviously 4 on the floor, 4-speed manual gearbox.
Feels nice to be back behind the wheel again.
Yeah. So you don't drive it a lot then?
Not in this one.
Nah, I suppose that's sensible. I think these would have made about 40 horsepower new.
Yeah.
But with a car weighing, you know, 750 kilos, it's not as slow as it sounds. If you had 40 horsepower in a modern car, it wouldn't move.
No.
So how long have you owned it?
About a year and a couple of months.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. What made you buy a Mk1 Fiesta?
I come up on eBay and my dad said bid on it. I said I've always wanted a classic Ford, but I just couldn't afford one at the time.
Yeah.
And this come up and I got it for quite a good price. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
So you was telling me that you used to own a Cortina when you was younger as well, yeah?
I owned a Mk3 Cortina that my dad brought me for my 15th birthday.
Yeah.
I wish I never sold it. I shouldn't have sold it.
When you sell your classic Ford
Yeah.
Joys, regret it.
I definitely regretted that one.
Yeah. So the plan is to keep this stock, yeah? You're not going to ruin it?
No, never.
Ah, fair
Stay
play.
as exactly as it is.
Fair play.
The only thing I might do if it gets, you know, I might respray it one day if it gets too bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's about it. I wouldn't lower it, I wouldn't put another engine in it, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Ah, that's cool, man.
No mods.
Yeah, no, I'm sure a lot of people will respect that. Yeah, it really does drive well. Like, better than I was expecting. I mean, I know it's a low mileage car, I was expecting it to be good, but... So you say you're tucking her up for winter now?
Yeah, we're going in the barn.
Yeah.
So,
That's sensible, isn't it?
yeah,
Hopefully next summer there'll be a car show season.
Yeah,
like...
I know.
Wow. Such a cool car. Jack's gonna have to give the Fez a bit of a wash before he puts it back in the barn. Alright, so it's time for me to get out of Jack's way, but yeah, so happy that he invited me down to check out both of these cars. Jack does have an Instagram, which I'll leave a link to in the description of this video, where you can keep up to date with what he gets up to with the cars. Once he starts doing the restoration on the Cortina, hopefully he'll send me over some pics so that I can put them on my social media. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for inviting me down, and enjoy the rest of your day. Well, what a top bloke Jack is. Clearly loves his classic Fords, and hopefully I'll get to catch back up with him at some car shows next year. And I can't wait to see the results of the restoration on his and his dad's Cortina 1600E. As I said earlier on in the video, if you want to get your classic Ford on the channel, definitely get in touch. I'll leave links to my social media and my email address in the description of this video. But other than that, I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new and you want to keep up to date with all my future uploads. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.